I'm looking for a change and I try, but I can't find it. I'm looking for justice. I'm looking for a peace, but these guns on the streets keep talking. Why can't we be finding peace? Why can't we be ending all the...
But love ain't love for most white folks. Everything white people do has a political purpose. Everything white people do has a political purpose. Ain't no love is love with white folks.
Would we be considered racist if we only date within our race?
No, that's what you call race loyalty. And racism is a group system of exploitation, discrimination, oppression, bias, where one group seeks to deny all members of another group their fair share of resources, opportunities, and privileges. You know why you can't be a racist? You don't own a damn thing white people need in order to live.
True.
White people need you for nothing, but you need them.
So there you go. You got to listen to what Umar said in that interview. There's a lot of things he also said in that interview, too, that I'm going to be addressing, you know what I'm saying, at a future date. But, you know, let's dive in with racism. And Black people in a lot of different cultures. So we're just going to just look at the Black culture, right? We're just going to be really specific in this discussion. A lot of Black people feel like there is racism out here in the world, right? And if they feel that way, I feel like, you know what I mean, their perception of what reality is, whether it's distorted or not, it should be valid. Like, we're here to try to solve the problem, right? So we look at racism, and a lot of Black people, especially Umar, feels that racism in America is stopping Black people from being excellent, from being greater than what they already are, and teaching their children to be greater in the future. And I just have a issue with it where it comes to Dr. Umar only has the ability to tell you what a problem is, but he never has the ability to solve the problem. Now, if we're talking about racism, if you're a victim of racism right now, right, then we need to have solutions as to why you are concerned about racism and why you feel that racism is stopping you, and what is it about yourself that you can apply to the situation as a problem-solving tactic to stop racism from stopping you from getting to your goals. See, I think what the problem is that Black people, a lot of Black people who are victims of this, who say they are victims of it, they're not really looking into who they really are and have a clear objective of what they're trying to accomplish. If they really, really looked at what they're trying to accomplish and then use problem-solving skills and tactics to be able to maneuver, you know what I'm saying, in order to make it happen, and being able to go to whatever lengths is necessary to solve the problem, they would not be talking like this. Now, I don't feel, based on my experiences, right, and we're all just looking at these different things from our own experiences, right, I've never been a victim of racism, ever. But if I ever tell a Black person that, if I told Umar that, or if I told, you know, this Black woman that, and they were a victim of it, they will make it look like it's a problem. I'm the problem. Like I am a bad person. Or they went, well, you know what I'm saying? Where did you live at? You must live in. And they'll start saying all these different things. And it's just, I've never been a victim of it. I never experienced any of it. Right. But they won't tell me. They won't ask me why. Didn't it happen? And they definitely won't look at the situation like this. If you are a victim of racism, what did you do to stop it from happening to you? See, Black people don't want to talk to other Black people like that. Like they just want to say, I got a problem, but another Black person don't have the same problem they have, then that other person is the problem, right? So if I got a broken ankle, let's use an example. If I have a broken ankle, right, and this other person don't have a broken ankle, right, and we're running track, and I'm like, man, wait, we were doing the same stuff. Why didn't you break an ankle? Why didn't you break your ankle? Why did it happen to you? What happened to me? And we were doing the exact same thing down there. And then they will probably tell me. I would ask that question. How did it not happen to you? And then I will take that as a problem-solving blessing and apply it to my life and see if it works for me. See, America, I think like a lot of people like Dr. Umar, they are stuck in the past about what America used to be, right? Because Dr. Umar himself, if America is so bad in racism, then why are you still living here in a land full of racism? Why are you not living in the land where your ancestors lived, or a better land where you don't have to deal with racism? Why are you still here? This is what I ask these leaders all the time, but they never can answer it for me, right? And their only reason for answering it for me, the only thing that they will say, some people answer saying that because my ancestors were here, my ancestors built this country. And then I'll just say, like, what is your ancestor name, and tell me what they specifically built in the country. Tell me. If your ancestors built something, Dr. Umar Johnson, I know you're listening, right? If your ancestors built something, what did they build? Right? And as a descendant of that ancestor, if it was lost, taken away from you, or whatever, away from them, as a descendant, why are you not trying to get it back for your ancestors? See, that's the thing I'll be talking about. I've been hearing a lot of black leaders talking about what somebody took from their people. And these are people they don't even know, right? So let's just take aside from that. If you are emotionally attached to slavery, and if you are emotionally attached to these people in your imaginary brain, because you never seen your ancestors, you never touched them, and none of that stuff, you really don't even know who their names are. You might who they name, but you don't know about their experience in life because they haven't sit down and told you their experiences in slavery. You're automatically thinking it's something out of your own brain, but not necessarily the actual truth, right? But even if you do that, right, and you got a problem with what somebody else took from them, why are you not trying to take it back now? What's the problem? See, Dr. Umar is good at, and I give him his pride, he's good at telling you what's wrong with you or what's wrong with a situation. Like, you know what I mean? If anybody heard about the washer effect, they'll understand it. He's good at like saying like, this is what's wrong, this is what's going on, and all that type of stuff. But none of these leaders that y'all follow right now can actually solve the problem because we still got the same problems right now. Racism is still a problem in America right now, they say, right? So all the leaders that became before Dr. Umar, 19 Keys, Farrakhan, all these leaders, all these leaders that's been here since the beginning of time, all these black leaders, they still have not solved that problem. You understand what I'm saying? So the reason why they haven't solved that problem, because they're not using effective problem-solving skills and techniques. And this is a solution for anybody out there dealing with racism. This is a solution. You look inside yourself and see what you're good at. You have to identify your God-given purpose. You have to surrender to it. You have to be able to submit to it. And you have to be thanking God that you have it inside your soul. Whatever, and every human being has a lot of different purposes. Every human being has a lot of different unique talents and skills. You must look at yourself as an individual. When they talk about knowledge of self, why are they saying knowledge of self? Mastering yourself, having an understanding of yourself. Everything starts with you as a person first. Before you even get to an environment, before you even get to any people, it's about you. So you need to figure that out first, right? Once you submit to it and once you surrender to it, the doors are going to start opening, right, to different ways you need to go in your life. When you focus on certain things that you really need to do, you're going to be led to the energy going to lead you, the godly energy is going to lead you to certain doors and certain things, whatever. But you have to earn the accomplishment of the purpose. That means that you have to be able to problem solve. You got to be able to deal with certain shit, all that type of stuff. Because the purpose is a gift that should be unwrapped to the world or will be unwrapped to the world, and to be able to improve life, improve humanity, and help people solve their problems. It's about solving problems. The problem that we have in the black community is everybody feels like they're the same, and everybody feels like they have the same problem as somebody in Philadelphia when they really don't. There's a lot of black people in this country, if they really honest, they are not going through racism because they don't know what the fuck real racism is. Real racism is when a white person see you, they hit you with a 2x4 upside the head because you're trying to cross the street in a different area of the town. It's people showing up in your house and shit like that, dragging your uncles and your nieces and shit out in the woods, hanging them up in trees and shit. This is race. Real racism is on sight. It's when I see you, I let your ass know. I call you a name. I call you a nigger. I call